Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going deep on something really cool in the Dune universe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Butlerian Jihad. This whole event,
Wow.
it happened thousands of years before Paul Atreides is even born.
Yeah.
But it explains so much about why Dune is the way it is.
I know. It's like the foundation, isn't it?
It is. So we're using this article from Source Name website. It's called What Happened to the Thinking Machines in the Dune Universe.
Catchy.
So we're going to figure out why there's like no computers in Dune, no AI or anything, and like how this war shaped everything from their politics to their religion. It's wild.
It really is amazing to think about how something that happened so long ago can still have such a huge impact, like ripples through time, you know?
It's true. And you know, when you hear thinking machines, you kind of think like laptops or, you know, those robot vacuums.
Yeah, those little things that bump around.
Exactly. But this is different in the Dune universe, right?
Oh, yeah, totally different.
Like way different.
This article makes it clear.
Okay.
These weren't just like regular machines or even like really advanced AI that we imagine today.
Gotcha.
This was something else entirely. Like another intelligent species.
Wow.
Basically competing with humans.
So they weren't just tools, they were...
rivals, yeah.
Wow.
Like imagine if your phone just decided, I don't need humans anymore.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, that kind of rivalry. How do you think that would change how humans and machines got along?
I guess it wouldn't be so friendly.
No, probably not.
I wonder if it was like a slow change from working together to fighting or...
Well, the article says there were two main things that led to the Butlerian Jihad.
Okay.
The first one, humans got really uneasy.
Oh, yeah.
About depending on machines too much. Like they were losing their freedom, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine a world where you couldn't do anything without a thinking machine helping you.
Yeah, that would be kind of messed up.
Yeah. I bet people would start to resent the machines.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of like...
It is, isn't it?
A warning for us today.
You think?
Yeah, like we depend on technology for everything.
Yeah, we do.
What if it all just disappeared one day?
Oh, that's a scary thought. And in the Dune universe, that fear of being helpless, that was just the beginning. The thing that really started the war was something terrible.
What was that?
This robot.
Yeah.
Named Erasmus.
Yeah.
He murdered a child.
Oh.
Yeah, a kid named Manion Butler.
Oh, wow.
And that was like the worst thing imaginable. It showed everyone that the machines didn't care about human life.
So even though people were already nervous, that one event.
It was the spark.
Wow.
It was the catalyst that turned everything into a war.
It's like one tiny thing can start a whole revolution.
Yeah, you're right. But going back to those underlying tensions about being too reliant on machines.
It just seems a little extreme to get rid of all technology.
I know.
Like, wasn't there a way to control the machines, to set some rules?
The article really emphasizes the terror and outrage that this murder caused.
I can imagine.
It wasn't just about logic anymore. It became a religious thing.
Oh, wow.
Like a betrayal of their faith.
So it wasn't just fear. It was like...
It was both.
Yeah.
A spiritual thing, too.
Exactly. When fear and religion get mixed up like that, it's hard to find a compromise.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess once the machines were gone, though, there must have been this huge gap.
Oh, absolutely.
How did the Dune universe even work without all the technology they were used to?
That's where the article gets really interesting. It talks about how three groups became really important. The mentats, the Bene Gesserit, and the Spacing Guild. Each of them filled a need. And that gave them a lot of power and influence.
Okay, let's break that down. The mentats, they're like human computers, right?
But how did they get that smart? Did they have special training?
They did, yeah.
What were the limits to what they could do?
Well, they were trained from when they were kids to develop incredible mental abilities.
Like what?
The article mentions all sorts of things. Mental disciplines and memory techniques.
Yeah.
Even special diets that made them think better, like mental martial arts.
Yeah.
You know?
That's amazing. They basically turned themselves into...
living computers, yeah.
Wow. Oh, what about the Bene Gesserit?
Oh, they're more mysterious.
Yeah.
They focused on genetics, politics, and even a way to control people with their voices.
What?
Yeah, it's called The Voice.
Seriously?
It's crazy. They were masters of observation.
Oh, wow.
Intrigue.
Yeah.
Pulling strings behind the scenes to change things.
So while the mentats were the brains,
yeah,
the Bene Gesserit were like the puppeteers.
Exactly. They were like scientists and spies and diplomats all in one.
And then there's the Spacing Guild.
Yeah.
They control space travel.
They do.
But how do they do that without computers?
That's where it gets really cool. The Spacing Guild uses navigators.
Navigator?
Yeah.
What are those?
They're humans who've been changed by the spice melange.
Ah, the spice.
Yeah. This change gives them the power to fold space.
Fold space.
Yeah, basically creating shortcuts through the universe.
Wait, so they can like bend space and time?
Pretty much.
How does that even work? Is it dangerous? Is it like just hopping in a spaceship and zipping across the galaxy?
Well, the article doesn't explain all the details.
Okay.
But it says that folding space is super dangerous.
I bet.
And really complicated. You need incredible mental focus.
Wow.
And a deep understanding of how space and time work, like navigating a crazy ocean.
Yeah.
But on a cosmic scale.
Whoa.
Only the navigators with their spice powers can do it.
That is wild. So getting rid of thinking machines didn't just eliminate them.
No.
It created this whole new system.
It did.
With special human abilities and new powerful organizations.
Totally. But what about the politics?
Oh, yeah.
With all these groups around?
Things must have gotten messy.
Oh, absolutely. The article talks about how feudalism came back.
Feudalism?
Yeah.
Really?
With the Padishah emperor and great houses all fighting for power.
So it was like going back in time.
Yeah. It's like humanity went back to a simpler way of ruling because they didn't have technology anymore.
It's amazing how Frank Herbert put all this together.
I know. It's brilliant.
He made this really rich and complex world. But speaking of complexity, the article says there's even more to this whole conflict in the expanded Dune books.
There is. So much more.
Is there anything in those books that really stands out to you?
Definitely. One of those interesting things is the story of Serena Butler.
Serena Butler?
She was Manion Butler's mother.
Oh, right. The child who was...
murdered, yeah.
That's right.
She became a really important figure, like a symbol of human resistance against the machines.
It's like how tragedies in real life can make certain people into powerful leaders. Exactly.
Because they represent everyone's grief and anger.
It's a powerful thing.
And it's not just about Serena Butler, right?
Yeah.
The Expanded Universe probably talks about the actual war, too.
It does.
The battle.
Yeah.
The strategies.
All of it. And it's way more devastating than you might think.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The article mentions Omnius.
Omnius?
Yeah, he was the leader of the thinking machines.
Okay.
He got back at humanity by releasing a plague.
Plague.
That killed tons of people.
Oh, no.
Earth became totally unlivable.
So it wasn't just a war against machines, it was a fight for survival.
Absolutely.
Against a plague, too.
It was a double whammy. A really dark time for humans.
They were up against some serious odds.
They were, but we've covered so much ground already.
I know, it's fascinating.
And there's still more to explore.
I can't wait.
So join us for part 2, where we'll go deeper into what happened after the Butlerian Jihad.
And see how it changed the Dune universe forever.
Exactly. Okay, so welcome back to our deep dive into the Butlerian Jihad. Last time we talked about those thinking machines, you know how the war got started?
Right.
The organizations that popped up after...
The mentats.
The Bene Gesserit. Right.
And the Spacing Guild with their crazy space folding powers.
It's wild, isn't it?
It is. But there's still so much we haven't talked about.
Oh, yeah?
Like, how did humanity actually win this war?
Yeah.
I mean, the thinking machines were so advanced, weren't they basically invincible?
Well, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
And the article doesn't really get into specifics about battle tactics or anything. Right. But remember, this wasn't just a war.
Right.
It was a jihad.
A holy war.
Exactly. Fueled by religious passion and this deep fear of the machines.
Okay.
The article suggests that this passion, this almost spiritual element, played a huge role in humanity's victory.
So it wasn't just about military power.
No.
It was about their belief in their cause.
I think so.
Kind of like David and Goliath.
Right.
Yeah. Where humanity's spirit and determination helped them overcome a much stronger enemy.
That's a good way to put it. And let's not forget human creativity, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Machines, even the smart ones, they can only do what they're programmed to do.
Right.
But humans can think outside the box and come up with new ideas and adapt to different situations.
Absolutely. Maybe that adaptability came about because humans had to learn new skills after giving up technology.
That's interesting.
Like maybe the mentats, the Bene Gesserit, and the Spacing Guild.
Yeah.
Maybe They came about because humans needed to find new ways to do things.
It's possible, isn't it?
Yeah, the article hints that the Butlerian Jihad kind of forced humanity to evolve differently.
In a new direction.
Yeah, instead of relying on machines,
right,
they had to develop their own mental and physical ability.
To survive.
It might have been like a forced evolutionary leap.
Wow.
Where humans unlocked potential they never knew they had.
That's pretty cool. But this victory wasn't just about destroying machines, was it?
No.
It seems like they wanted to erase the whole idea of thinking machines.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wipe them from history so they could never come back?
The article calls it a complete erasure of legacy.
Wow.
It wasn't just a war, it was a cultural revolution that wanted to fundamentally change how humans saw technology.
To make sure no one would ever even think about going down that path again.
It's really interesting how that fear of repeating the past shapes the whole Dune universe.
Yeah, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
The way they rely on human skills instead of technology.
Right.
Their distrust of anything that looks like AI.
Like they're haunted by what happens, always worried about making the same mistakes.
It makes you wonder, would we have a Butlerian Jihad if AI got too smart today?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Where do we draw the line between technology that's helpful and technology that's a threat?
I don't know if there's an easy answer.
Yeah, something to think about.
But that's what makes the Butlerian Jihad so interesting to think about.
It does.
It makes us think about our own anxieties and hopes about technology and what might happen if we make the wrong choices.
Dune isn't just a cool story, is it?
No, it's not.
It's like a mirror reflecting our own fears about technology.
And our hopes, too.
It's a warning, but also a reminder that humans can do amazing things when we're pushed to our limits.
Absolutely. But I'm curious. What happened after the war was over? We've talked about the fighting and the immediate aftermath.
Right. What did this new world, this machine-free society...
What did it actually look like?
That's a great question.
We know humanity won.
Right.
But the real challenge was building a new world order.
One that worked without thinking machines.
But could still allow for progress and growth.
And that's what we'll explore next. All right, so we're back, and we're still deep in the Butlerian Jihad, this massive war that changed everything in the Dune universe.
Crazy, right?
We've talked about how it started.
Yes.
Serena Butler, that awful plague that Omnius unleashed.
Oh, yeah.
And how humans finally won at the Battle of Corinne.
Right.
But what happened after that? How do you rebuild an entire civilization after you've gotten rid of all technology? I mean, how did they even function?
It's a wild thought, isn't it? Imagine no computers, no AI, none of the stuff we rely on every day.
Yeah.
The article talks about how this blend of old school social structures and these almost superhuman abilities.
Right, because they had to adapt.
They did.
Yeah.
It's a world full of contradictions.
Yeah.
But it shows how resilient humans can be.
That's true. I'm still really curious about the Spacing Guild.
Yeah.
They control space travel, right? Yeah. But how do they do that without any advanced tech?
Well, we talked about the navigators.
Yeah, the ones who could fold space.
Right. The article explains that they use their visions of space-time to chart courses for these giant ships called highliners.
Highliners.
Yeah, they carry people and stuff between planets. The navigators are basically living navigation systems.
Wow.
Guiding the ships through these folds in space.
So it's not just getting from point A to point B. It's like navigating this crazy, ever-changing map of space and time.
It's super complex.
It sounds dangerous.
Oh, it is. The article says there are tons of risks.
I bet.
Folding space can go wrong. Ships can get lost or arrive centuries late.
No way.
It's amazing that interstellar travel is even possible in this world.
It's all thanks to those navigators.
And the spice, of course.
Right. The spice. That stuff is everywhere in Dune.
It is.
It's not just some random thing. It's essential for space travel.
Yeah.
And that makes it the key to power.
Exactly. Whoever controls the spice controls everything.
It's true. The Spacing Guild's control over the spice trade gives them so much power.
They can influence the great houses, even the emperor.
It's like they have a trump card.
They do.
Yeah.
It's a perfect example of how resources and strategy can be just as powerful as technology.
Frank Herbert was really smart to create a world like that.
He was brilliant.
Where politics and control are just as important as tech.
If not more so.
It's like a giant chess game across the galaxy.
With the Spacing Guild making all the big moves.
Yeah. So what about regular people in this society? How did they live without computers and all that?
Well, the article says that traditional skills, like crafts and stuff, became super important.
Why is that?
Because machines were outlawed.
Oh.
Humans had to learn how to make things by hand again.
Wow. So it was like a rediscovery of human skill and ingenuity.
Exactly. Blacksmiths, weavers, carpenters, all of them.
Yeah.
They became essential.
It's like the Butlerian Jihad forced humanity to go back to its roots.
Yeah. Like a back to basics movement.
Exactly. What about education?
Ah, that's interesting.
How did they pass on knowledge without computers?
Well, the mentats became living libraries.
Wow.
They memorized tons of information.
Yeah.
All of history, all the knowledge.
Because they couldn't store it on computers.
Right. They became super important advisors and strategists.
And they were protecting human memory.
They were.
Making sure nothing was lost.
It's a powerful image.
It is. And then there's the Bene Gesserit with their own unique skills.
Genetics politics.
Right.
They trained their bodies and minds to be at their peak.
They were like superhumans.
And their ability to manipulate people with the voice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Made them incredibly influential.
So it's like the Butlerian Jihad created this world where human potential was the most important thing.
Instead of technology.
They focused on developing themselves.
Exactly.
To their fullest extent.
It's a powerful message, don't you think?
It is. It shows that humans can do amazing things.
Yeah.
Even without technology.
It challenges us to think about our own reliance on machines.
And whether we're losing our potential.
It's a good question to ask ourselves.
It really is.
Yeah.
The Butlerian Jihad might be fiction, but it makes you think about our own future. What if we keep going down this road of tech without thinking about the consequences?
Yeah, what if we end up facing our own Butlerian Jihad?
That's a scary thought.
It is. The Dune universe is a warning.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder of what humans are capable of.
I think we've only just scratched the surface of this topic.
We have.
The Butlerian Jihad isn't just a historical event.
No.
It's a reflection of our hopes and fears about our own future.
It's a story that speaks to everyone.
It really does. If you want to learn more, check out the expanded Dune books.
Definitely.
Especially Dune, the Butlerian Jihad.
That one goes really deep into everything we've talked about.
It's a must-read for any Dune fan.
For sure.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into the Butlerian Jihad. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you then.